We here on the podcast are not
Everything.
endorsing bombing places. I'm just saying
Yeah.
sometimes
No,
people
no.
become frustrated.
Yes. Yes. Let me rephrase. Oh, I have a whole lot of glare. Sorry. This time. Hmm. Oh, well, I'm just soft focus, so I guess that'll work. Let's see.
yeah.
And all of a
Great.
sudden, my back decided to
You look
spasm.
fantastic, baby.
Right? It's like the whole, what is it, Vaseline on the camera lens thing? You can't see flaws.
right.
Hi, Sam. Hi, Sturg. Uh,
Oh, everybody.
did I miss
Pull us up
anybody?
on the
Did I miss anybody? Miss anybody? Nope. I'm good.
pull us up on the laptop. There we are. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm glad you mentioned me first, Sturge. So honored. Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I
poor
thought about
Dolly.
Dolly. But I
Yeah,
mean, 80, she did a
yeah,
lot of good in her 80 years.
yeah.
A lot of good.
She was one of my favoriteest female country
Yeah.
singers ever. Like, she was awesome.
Well,
Just
and
a
I loved her
beautiful
whole
voice.
thing for books and all those things that
She had
know.
cancer.
Mm. It's Dolly night.
Dolly
Tomorrow
night.
night. What time do you do it again? Because I know it's not the same time here. What is it?
I'm singing. When am I singing, Jolene? What?
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
I better go learn
What
it. Then.
time is it in my time? Secret. Oh, sorry, buddy. I got to be too mad in the middle of the night. The stupid cats decided to come in and pick on 5:30 my time. Okay. Decided to come in and pick on poor Finn, who was laying on the floor trying to stay cool. And they just had this big old thing, and he was all upset. And I picked him up and put him up on the bed with me, and I chased the cats out, and I shut the door. So I had a pretty peaceful night without cats jumping on me. Hello,
Nice.
Ruben.
Hello, Ruben. Hello.
Sacred, did you have your nap and then now you're awake? Is that what's going on?
She never slept.
Look at that. She
No.
never slept? Oh. Hi, Laura.
No, I was just bugging her right up until the podcast. So.
I see. Well, I apparently, I don't know.
That's an
tried
apple.
to make myself dinner. That's a heffalump. It's an adorable
A
heffalump.
heffalump.
Tried to make myself dinner, like actually cook something on the stove in a pan. And I'd never cooked these kind of beans before. They're the flat kind, Romano or something like that. Anyway,
Huh.
I was trying to follow a recipe, and I miss putting in the water they said to put in. So like I burned the whole bottom half of my dinner. So it smells really bad in here, and now my stomach starts. You kept her hot and bothered, huh?
I didn't.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose, anyway.
If so, it was not intentional.
I see. I'm digging this soft focus thing here on me with the glare.
She gives me far more credit than I'm due.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, she says hot and bothered. I think one thing, maybe it just made her sweat talking to you.
Yeah.
But we don't know what she means.
I'm not going to assume anything.
I'm just a dumb white girl sitting here.
Okay.
No, you got a lovely.
You sit there, dumb white girl.
He's a sensitive, smart hippie.
What is that? What's this dumb white girl thing? Listen, you stop that right now. And we'll have none of it on this podcast, lady. You may not be dumb.
Right. You're a dumb white lesbian. Get it right.
Self-deprecate upon.
Just dumb white lesbian. Come on.
No.
All right. Boy. Are you fat shaming your cat?
I haven't been called a kid in forever. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah, kids. I'm going to be 73. Like too soon. I think that's what's going on with my body. I think it's decided that it's rebelling against turning 73 in September. So it's just like, no, Your
My
back is
brain is still
Mm.
20 something, so
no.
it's just
Hell
It's
no,
what?
I won't go.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm. 60. See, you're a baby.
I
Yeah,
turned
Rose
60
said
last
it.
month, Jeff.
Some
did.
people really get a kick out of what? Oh, you gave your guess there, Trace. What if some people get a kick out of? I missed it.
What's the kick?
And 58. I don't know. Sacred said that some people really get a kick out of it, and I don't know what she's kicking.
Since they're smart hippie. Listen, Sturg.
No.
I don't-
Yes,
I might resemble that remark.
very closely, in fact. Very closely.
I
I'm too
realized the
sensitive.
other day that Lombok is as tall and as long as this guy is.
Oh, yeah.
This guy weighs about 20 pounds more than Lombok.
Oh, but he's the same. Oh, funny. That was one thing that was funny when I moved into this place and I was filling out the application to move into this place, and they asked about your pets, and they
Mhm.
wanted how tall they were. I'm like, I don't know, about as tall as a cat. I
What?
I don't know.
Is that a cat or a baby seal?
It's about 3 hands high. I don't know. What do you want from me? It's
That's
Jeff.
12 inches.
about as big as a bread box. I don't know what.
As big as a bread box, wouldn't you think?
Mhm.
Are you as big as a bread box, but fat boy?
Very heavy bread box. Yeah.
And your mother's
Well,
bread
I
box
just
ignoring me.
Some people enjoy my. Oh. Well,
What?
she's misbehaving.
A
Yes.
misbehaved.
That should have
Make a
been
big
your
dip.
Substack name.
Saving my
I love that.
Make a
It
big
should have been her
difference with
Substack name, misbehaving.
Oh, it's great the way I am. There's a nice clear shot of the litter box.
no one to talk
Let's
with.
see. Let's go this way.
All
go
by myself.
I'll get this room arranged
No
eventually.
one to walk with, but I'm happy on a shelf.
Oh, the two kitties are having a lick fest over there, cleaning each other. Cute. Yeah. Mhm. No, it's no better of a thing, but at least you can't see the cat box, the litter
It's
box.
my drag name.
I like it. That's a good drag name.
I'm misbehaving.
I don't know how to. Who's not? I know.
He's not behaving.
I
Here's
don't
your
have the
hand.
energy. I don't have the energy to misbehave right
Right?
now. So, my internet connection is unstable as usual. So glad I upped it to the next range that costs more.
What happened?
I'm not
Lisa's-
misbehaving. Joseph,
You're
who's
not?
not misbehaving?
Oh.
Raise your hands.
Oh, okay.
I was even saying it.
There's no misbehaving here
Yes. We don't.
until there's a lot of misbehaving, and then
Well,
I know.
that's only when
That's when you even say
Sacred and
that.
Sturg
Yeah.
are both talking. Then it gets crazy.
Yes. I'm just going to turn that blind, I think. Maybe.
I had too many tabs open. Too many tabs. Tabs, you say? All right, let's see here.
I am not. My goodness, what do
happened?
I
I was gonna
have
put
to
the-
do to misbehave? I mean, seriously.
All right.
I even crocheted a stuffed animal as directed the other day.
You did what?
I crocheted a stuffed animal.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Because
How come?
Julie said, what has anything happened with that yarn yet? So now something happened with the yarn.
It's a lump of hefts.
Mm-hmm. That's
Just
what
saying.
we should name it Hef.
Hef?
Yeah.
Like you
Hef.
have name it Hef.
Sir Hef of lumps.
He's a lumpy Hef.
I dub thee Sir Hef of lumps.
He's got just the right amount of squishy.
Yeah. He looks like he's
the
just
right amount of squishy.
perfect
I will
amount of
name you
soft.
Squishy, for you are squishy.
I
Yeah,
know
about
my
that
squishy.
squishy too. I'm pretty, yeah, especially around the middle. I'm pretty much that squishy. Yeah.
Squishy. I don't know if that's
Dun,
what
dun, dun,
what
dun.
movie is that?
I'm huggable.
Dun,
I'm
dun,
just
dun,
huggable.
dun, 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 dun. Hey, misbehaving. I'm saving my love for you. Pull tabs off of beer. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Sorry,
You're
Lisa
nice.
had something on her
He's
face.
from Finding Nemo.
Got a little
And
curly
Dory,
tail and a little happy little
I shall call him
nose.
The
Squishy. He
heffalump.
shall be
The
my
heffalump.
he shall be my Squishy.
My
Ah,
squishy.
and I shall love
My
you and
Squishy.
be secret.
That's the cutest quote ever. I love it. Finding Nemo
And
was fun.
I don't use I am terribly lazy. I do not use patterns. I just crochet and turn it into something.
It's not lazy, it's talent.
It's I don't want to count.
Skill. Yeah, I get that. I get that. The only problem comes up when you try to make another one. Then
Oh, they're all
excuse
slightly unique.
Mhm.
No, I don't use AI to
Just like
crochet.
us. Just like us, you know?
No, Sturge, I just sit there and I just start crocheting, you know.
Definitely talent.
You start in a circle and then when you get it big enough, you start going down the tube to make the legs, the nose. And in this, you start in a circle and you make your circle bigger and then you make your circle smaller again. So you get your circle
See?
size
See?
head. It's really
No
simple.
big deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get all that. Uh-huh.
Me too. Yeah, yeah.
and this is half circles pretty much.
Really, it's memory, right?
Obviously.
Okay.
Mhm.
I know
No.
I know this. I know this stitch. What it there? See, I know stitch. You can-
It's all, mostly all single crochets with the
Uh-oh.
occasional half double.
Do they mind being single, or is it okay with them to be unpartnered?
They're all beside each other, so they're
They're
friends.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm beside myself sometimes.
It's good you're beside yourself because then at least you're not alone.
This
I'm
is true.
standing here beside myself.
Mhm. Yep. Machines don't do manual. Carol, hello. Jimmy, Naked Man.
I have
No,
a joke
machines do
for the
mechanical.
podcast. Is everyone ready?
What are we ready for?
A joke.
Oh, yeah, I'm
joke?
ready.
What do you get when you cross a Dilophosaur and a dodo? It's called a dildo.
Oh,
Sorry, I was
damn.
thinking a president? I don't know.
All right.
A president?
Browser.
Damn.
You bring your
Still.
No, this is
All right.
all right.
sacred
Sacred
spoon.
spoon. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You ain't shit about that one.
Oh. Well, I would say as it's made from a dinosaur, it might be rather
Ooh,
large.
right? This is true.
Just gonna
true.
guess. Don't know.
Well, it could be one of those little tiny dinosaurs.
Oh, that's true too.
That's fair.
So we did get the Ghidorah one now. So we have Ghidorah.
Let me see it closer. Oh, that's very cute. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then we've got Godzilla.
I love that.
Zilla.
That's adorable.
And then Mothra.
That one's
Nice.
scary.
I like Mothra.
I like it. Good
So I
times.
only have 5 more I need to get.
Only 5 more.
And we're already getting duplicates, so
Mm.
Oh.
a little hole in the province.
What's tucked away?
The dildo.
Oh.
Dildo Newfoundland.
I think they live in. I'm pretty sure they live in valleys and bush. It's just,
There's no port. There's no port.
couldn't. I don't. Listen, I didn't start this.
Jimmy. No, you didn't. We have to blame Jimmy for that.
That's not my fault.
Not your fault. No, not your fault. Definitely not. Free the bush. Oh dear, it just keeps getting worse.
Boy, that's a
I
whole
did
other.
not get my nap today.
Literally lost a Call of Duty match because my friend Jill said she was hiding in the bush, and we all fucking lost it.
Oh no! Oh dear.
Whoops. It was too giggly at that moment, and just
How that works, right?
whoops.
Yeah, I don't know why something about me that invites full disclosure, because Larry, the neighbor, for some
Right?
reason he's giving me his whole rundown on why he prefers shaved over, and I'm like,
Oh.
okay, I don't need to, I don't want to know.
So he actually will
Thanks
we'll go
for the
down then?
info.
Yeah, and he shaves his own too.
Oh,
Well, that's good because you don't like to get hair stuck between your teeth. It's nasty.
Well, that's what I
sure.
told him I thought that was about, because I said, I assume that's what that's about. I know, we're all sad. She was amazing. And
Yeah.
it was the wrong 80-year-old,
Mm.
Yeah.
I wonder how long she knew she had a cancer.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I sit there and I think about how devastated she was by the loss of her husband,
Mm.
What?
and that made me feel
Why are there
better
teeth in your
'cause
butts?
if there is
Yeah, she's
an afterlife, then hopefully she's now reunited and so forth.
talking size again, Sacred. I mean, come on. You can let it go once. Do you, Sarah? Yeah. I just sit there and go, huh. Oh,
Well,
okay.
since reading, where did it end?
You
Yeah.
did not write something called
I can spell that.
This is called All right.
I'm trying to figure out. Let's see.
Damn it, Lisa, you still got something on your face. I can't get it off. Not really, on my screen. On your face. Not really. I just couldn't get
Okay,
it.
let's see.
Yeah, she was.
Today, I added. Still scrolling. What just happened? Today, I added 3,170 words to
Holy
the story
crap,
I
in one
wrote you
day?
guys.
Wow. I never knew Morse code.
Morse code?
Yeah, her hubby died.
Like that.
Dot, dash, dot,
I was
dash,
gonna ask you
dash,
to. I
dash,
was gonna ask you to. Yeah.
The dashes are das, and the dots are dis. Is how you read it.
Okay. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Okay.
taking us to the good place. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Did I have? I forget where did I leave you guys at.
Did you know Morse code when you were in the service?
No,
No?
I wasn't a signalman. I didn't. I was
So
not.
that's only certain people that do that?
Yeah. Signal Corps and probably the ops people.
Yeah, I bet you're empty. Right?
I think I left here where Casey reached for her mother's cheek and traced her trail of tears there. And since then, the HR lady has called, and the pastor and his wife showed up, and that was lovely.
He hates Canada because he's an idiot.
He hates Canada because he wants.
He can't get his own way. Oh, I don't have a tantrum. That's what he does. So, yeah.
Never ever in my life seen a president act so fucking childish.
He's really right.
He is such an embarrassment. How in the world these people
I
thought it was a good
know.
idea to reelect him is
It
beyond me.
really does boggle my mind that we allow a man to act like that as the head
And
of
we
state.
elect him still to pretend to run our government.
And that he's a what, 34 times felon? I mean, you can
Something like
barely
that.
work at a Quickie Mart, like that. So,
He wouldn't be allowed to be hired by Walmart.
right?
He's quote
Or
unquote running the country.
FedEx.
Of course, he's doing these whole
FedEx.
break things and then ask permission later. And
I don't even.
51st state. That's so stupid.
they're now arguing whether or not the citizens of the United States have standing to refuse to allow a sitting president to destroy national landmarks. And there's a worry that if that lawsuit gets the right ruling, he will go ahead and start putting his face on Mount Rushmore without any approval from anybody.
Sweet.
there's going to be so much defacing.
Oh my.
And they're now calling the Kennedy Center restored by President Donald J. Trump.
Restored by. Well, it's probably
Mhm.
still nobody wants to play there, or.
Well, see, the problem is that they were told they couldn't put his name on there. So he said, well, okay, we won't put my name on there. It won't be the Trump and Kennedy Center. It'll be just the Kennedy Center on Donald J. Trump Plaza restored by Donald J. Trump.
I mean, he's just such
Yeah, it was the basic in the first place.
megalomaniac. Well, yeah, I suppose that's true, Sturg. I hadn't thought of it that way. I know. I mean, it's so stupid about Canada. It's like, that's one of the things that, what's her name? American, whatever. Heather Cox Richardson,
Heather
right?
Cox Richardson.
Yeah, she was talking about how, some of the stuff he's doing, and that the strength that we used to have was because of our allies and our working together with people.
And now we have no allies.
He's just he's basically pissing everybody off and
We're
separating
only
us.
allies.
Alienate all our allies so that
Just
we have none.
Yeah,
That'll
he's
work
just
out
like
well.
isolating us like an abuser does. So you don't have that input from outside sources. And he's a putz.
Yes, he's a big old walking penis.
And why do they not?
That's what putz means in Yiddish.
Oh,
He's a spectacle.
really?
Yes.
Yeah, why don't
putz
they
is
hold
penis.
Trump to anything? I know we all cannot stand him. I know. In Canada, I mean, I am so impressed with Carney. I mean, unbelievably impressed with him. He just knows how to deal with an abusive hat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Foolishness.
Yeah. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Here's a.
But yeah, I think all of us are kind of deeply hurt by the fact that we've lost Dolly Parton. And of course, we can never be anything but pissed off at our government if we're an American citizen, or actually other people are pissed off at our government too. Come to think of it, everybody hates Trump except for MAGA, and part of MAGA hates Trump now. So
Yeah.
I wonder what it's like to be the most hated man in the world.
Well, it's fascinating too, because I was watching a video on where a guy, I can't remember who he was right now, was asking MAGA people in Michigan about, do you think Trump is the greatest president? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Greatest president. I mean, he's stopped all those 8 wars. And then I go, oh, okay. Do you know the names of those wars? Well, now ask him. I have to think about it. Can you just name me one of those? Like they just take in the words and not, they don't filter any of it. I would want to ask them. So if he told you he could fly, you'd believe that too? Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, his stuff is just, I mean, they were talking about, Debbie, they were talking about how if he gets these guardrails not, taken away so that he can put his face on Rushmore, I mean, yeah, that kind of thing, it will be very much defaced. No. Oh, I know, right? I know, right? You guys can die. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, he who has hidden in a food truck. That's an awesome guy. Yeah. Anyway, on to happier things. You were going to read to us?
Oh, who, me?
Is that what you were doing?
I don't know. I don't have to. I mean, I'm sure
Besides
nobody
Trump.
wants us. No one wants me to. Should I let Ursula outside? Ursula, you want to go outside? No. Well, then why are you barking?
Yeah, you're just one. I know. I learned that watching that video, Sacred. It's like
Sturg says he'll read a story. You guys want to hear more of Reneda's story? Or are you not really up for that?
What?
More of Reneda's story.
I'm always up to hear you read. And then if Sturge has something he can read and I can take a hike. Because that's what I do for Sturge.
Aw. Okay, so I left you guys with the police leaving. So I'll do the last paragraph again. Renata shook her head, unable to focus on his face or the kindness of strangers. The men gave her one last look, the space between them helpless. Their words made Dan's absence real and forever. The click of the door latch carried a finality she never heard before. And it was that moment that sobs overpowered her composure. Casey reached for her mother's cheek, tracing the trail of tears there, then began to cry with her. Mother and daughter sat together, their sobs hiccuping against each other long after their tears had dried. A chasm had opened in Renata. She felt like her soul was tearing open, stretching increasingly deeper, a perceived invisible darkness that swallowed even as it extended. The phone began ringing. Casey was snuffling against Renata's chest, rubbing her face against her shirt. The phone stopped, then began ringing again. Someone must really want to talk to her. Renata sat Casey into the recliner and walked to the phone and picked it up. Hello? Renata tried to control her breathing, hoping to not sound as hoarse as the voice she heard. In through the nose, hiccup, sob, out through the mouth, try again. Hello, is Dan there? Tears welled in her eyes. I thought I was done crying for the moment, Renata thought, and bit her lip. In through the nose. Tears began falling again. Renata tasted blood. Hello? Renata began, tears dissolving her resolve. The police just left. She couldn't find the rest of the words. Casey appeared quietly and almost instantly by her side, clinging to her hips, small arms desperate with their grasp. Oh no, is he okay? The voice on the other line felt distant and quiet compared to the loud moan that Renata heard coming from somewhere. How am I supposed to do this without him? Am I saying this? Renata thought, the part of her still functioning feeling very far away from the small living room in the neat bungalow. She took a deep, shuddering breath. Renata, are you there? The HR woman's voice cut through her spiraling thoughts, and her awareness grasped it like a lifeline. Renata blinked. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You can do this. I'm sorry, the police just left. There was an accident. There was a sharp intake of breath on the other side of the line. Some part of Renata knew they didn't need the rest, but she also had to say it anyhow. He won't be. Deep breath. He won't be coming back. I understand. The HR woman's voice sounded kind. Renata imagined someone who barely knew her trying to find a way to sound sincere when offering condolences to a stranger. For a moment, she felt bad about ruining the woman's day. Why don't I come over and we can start some of the paperwork for his death benefits for you? Would that be helpful? Confusion. Paperwork? Images of neat rows of debits and credits on green accounting paper, red lines marking losses, flitted for a moment across her imagination. She closed her eyes, worrying for a moment that, if she weren't careful, she might let go altogether and dissolve into a macabre mix of laughter and tears. This was her husband, not an entry on a profit and loss statement. There was a knock on the door. The pastor, his wife. "Hang on a second," Renata spoke into the receiver. "There's someone at the door." Not waiting for a response, Renata placed the receiver on the console table and gently untangled herself from Casey's grasp as she stepped to answer. The pastor and his wife stood on her front porch waiting. Subdued, friendly faces with practiced, empathetic encouragement. Not looking sad necessarily, but careful to not appear cheerful. They both made eye contact as soon as she opened the door. The pastor had a worn Bible with a black leather cover in one hand. The pastor's wife's hands were empty, and they reached for Renata's free hand as soon as the screen door was opened. "We're so sorry," Sarah McGowan said as they entered her home. "This is such a shock." Adam McGowan came in after his wife, his practiced humility worn like the collar he wore on Sundays, still somehow visible in casual jeans and a polo shirt. The couple stood awkwardly just inside the doorway. Renata backed up a step, Casey moving back with her, a perfect shadow clinging to her as though attachment was the only thing guaranteeing her existence. The pastor gently closed the door behind them, and Renata noticed the pancake batter crusting over and heard the distant voice of the HR woman attempting to get her attention on the phone. Sarah McGowan followed Renata's gaze to the pancake batter, quietly picked up the bowl and went toward the kitchen. The pastor knelt down to Casey's level. "Hey there," he said gently. Casey was sucking her fingers again, something Renata hadn't seen her do in over a year. A new pain hit her heart when she remembered last night, and Casey's squeals of laughter as Dan swung her in a circle. There was the distant buzz from the HR woman again. Adam looked up. "May I?" he offered. Renata stroked her daughter's hair with her hand and nodded, and the pastor stepped past her to the phone and began talking to HR. She reached down and picked up Casey, who wrapped her arms around her neck and buried her head in her shoulder. She held her close, adopting the same gentle rocking sensation she used when Casey was an infant. The warm weight of her daughter became her anchor. "Have either of you eaten?" Sarah looked out from the edge of the kitchen. Renata shook her head and walked that direction, suddenly embarrassed to not have yet managed the most basic requirements of motherhood this morning. Sarah was washing the congealed mess of forgotten pancake batter down the drain, starting a new batch. "My kids always loved pancakes. It was our Saturday tradition. Do you have any vanilla? Makes them so much better." Renata reached to get the vanilla. "Oh, no worries, just point. You just sit down there. I will take care of this." Renata sat on the kitchen chair, rocking Casey, who was shockingly still against her. She looked a moment at her face, wondering if she had fallen asleep. Her large hazel eyes were blinking slowly, staring at a space somewhere on the kitchen wall. Casey's fingers were still in her mouth. Renata stroked her hair, wondering what Casey understood of the morning and how she would understand that Daddy was never coming home. Sarah found the plates and silverware, humming to herself as she made breakfast. Pastor Adam came into the kitchen. "Jan Donaldson from HR will be here this afternoon to help you get things started with the foundry. Since Dan had given notice but was still an employee, he still has health and life insurance, so that'll be a help. Would you like us to get you to a funeral home? Do you have a preference?" "Slow down. Why can't this just slow down for one moment?" her mind screamed. Sarah placed 2 plates of pancakes in front of Renata, one for her and one for Casey, she guessed. Casey rubbed her face against her mother's shirt again. "Oh, syrup," Sarah said pleasantly, and went to the pantry cupboard to begin looking for it. She turned and set it beside the plates. "Does Casey drink milk or juice with breakfast?" she asked as she opened the refrigerator door. "Most people use Wilkinson's if you don't have a preference," Adam continued. "I don't have a car." The realization of the double loss stunned her for a moment. How would she get anywhere? Why didn't they ever plan for this? Dan, what were we even thinking? She thought at him for a moment as tears began to blur her vision again. Adam reached across the table and patted her shoulder gently. She shook her head. Sarah frowned at the syrup, still not poured onto the pancakes, which were slowly cooling and losing their appeal. Renata tried to separate Casey from herself a bit. Are you hungry, sweetie? She asked, her eyes searching Casey's. Renata took the smallest plate of pancakes and drizzled syrup on part of a pancake, then cut a bite to offer her. Casey shook her head, burying her face in her mother's shirt again. Renata took the bite herself, chewing it mechanically. She put the fork down on the plate. She swallowed, but it felt like the pancake got stuck halfway down. She swallowed again. Sarah turned away from the table and began cleaning the griddle to put it away and washing the dishes she had used to make breakfast. The stillness echoed between them. Adam cleared his throat a moment. I will get started with Wilkinson's, and maybe we can take you over tomorrow morning to work on the arrangements. Renata watched him look past her to Sarah, the quiet telegraphing of communication so familiar in a married couple, her breath catching. She closed her eyes, reminding herself. Deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Sarah nodded. Adam got up from the table. Renata stood up with him, Casey still clinging to her. He smiled gently, picking up his Bible where he left it on the console table as he walked past. Sarah smiled, gently stroking Casey's hair. Some of the women will probably be by with casseroles and things the next few days. Renata stood in the middle of the living room watching them leave, closing the door behind themselves as they left. She was so tired. She sank onto the couch, setting Casey in front of her as she sat down. Casey's eyes searched hers. Mama? Casey patted her mother's face gently with her hand, her eyes quizzical. She doesn't understand. Not yet, Renata thought to herself. How does a baby understand forever? Yes, sweetie? Okay, Mama? Renata swallowed hard. The one bite of pancake still haunted her, sitting in silent judgment in her throat. It's okay, baby, we'll be fine. Renata wondered if she was lying, and how she would know if she were. Casey stood a moment longer in front of her mother, then wandered back toward their kitchen. Renata looked up at the clock in the dining area and saw it was almost 11. The day had somehow spun crazily out of control. It was lunchtime, and she still hadn't fed her child. How am I supposed to do this without him? Had become a resounding echo at every turn. And it had not even been 3 hours. How? She started again and laughed bitterly. When do I think something else? She wondered. Now, do you guys want me to stop?
No.
Because I'm
Not
switching.
particularly.
Okay, I'm switching point of view to Casey, and it's still kind of rough. And it starts over with Casey's point of view for the morning. The sun was peeking around the blinds, winking little bits of light across the Care Bears bedding Mama and Daddy bought for Casey when she got her big girl bed. The large maple tree outside her window made the dappled pattern dance as the breeze moved leaves back and forth out of the light. Casey heard the metallic thunk of the washer lid closing. No one was talking, though. Daddy must have gone to work already. Wiping the sleepy dirt out of her eyes, Casey grabbed her pound puppy, Priscilla, by the ear and slid off the bed and walked down the hallway to find Mama. Mama? Renata turned to look at Casey, smiling at her. Casey was delighted when Mama smiled. It was like her whole body lit up with love. And Mama's smile was safety. Good morning, sweetheart. What do you think about pancakes? Making pancakes with Mama was Casey's favorite because she got to stir the batter and help. Mama said she was too little to be close to the griddle, though, so she only got to watch the pancakes cook. She couldn't wait for the day she was big enough to turn over the pancakes all by herself so she could be grown up like Mama. Casey concentrated carefully, stirring the whisk in a circle around the pancake batter. Sometimes, if she hurried too much, the pancake batter snuck up the sides of the bowl and began dripping on the counter. When that happened, Mama took the batter away, so Casey was very careful not to spill any. On the counter in front of Mama, the electric griddle made clicking noises as it turned on and off to get hot enough to cook pancakes. There was a knock on the door. Humph, grunted Mama, lifting Casey off the kitchen chair as she had been standing and grabbing the pancake batter with one hand as she walked to the door. 2 policemen in gray uniforms stood at the door. When Mama opened it, they took off their hats and asked to come in. Casey watched as the bowl of pancake batter began to tip, the whisk beginning to slide. One of the policemen reached out before the whisk could fall and took the bowl from Mama, putting it on the end table between the door and the couch. Mama didn't seem to notice. They told Mama to sit down, but she had gotten really pale and seemed confused. Casey's heart began to thump like a frightened rabbit. She stood against the wall in the entryway, watching the strange men. The one that took Mama to Daddy's chair knelt down in front of her with one hand on her shoulder. He talked about accidents and someone being really sick. Casey put her 3 middle fingers in her mouth and held them there. Her heart was pounding and it felt hard to breathe. The policeman not talking to Mama found the box of tissues on the other end table. Casey. Casey saw Mama looking for her. Come here. Casey left her place against the wall and walked slowly to Mama, her eyes never leaving the 2 strangers that came in and interrupted pancake time. She walked sideways between the police officer and Mama, only turning her back to him to climb into Mama's lap. Mama's hands were shaking as she stroked her hair. Her face was wet with tears. Casey didn't remember Mama crying before. Did the policeman hurt Mama? Mama was wiping her face with the Kleenex from the other policeman. Mama got paper out of her Bible in the magazine rack by the recliner and handed it to the policeman. He walked to the phone and called someone. Then he offered to stay and wait with her. When Mama told them to leave, she didn't follow them to the door. Instead, she stayed in Daddy's chair holding her. When the door closed, Casey tried to wipe away Mama's tears. Mama began crying harder. Mamas don't cry. Casey began to cry, burying her face in Mama's shirt. They quieted together, Mama rocking Casey in Daddy's chair. The phone rang for a long time, then stopped and began ringing again. Mama sat her down in the chair and went and answered the phone. She began crying again on the phone. Then someone knocked on the door. Casey climbed out of Daddy's chair and walked behind Mama and hugged her, holding her tight in case the new visitors made her as upset as the earlier ones. Church people were at the door. The man knelt down for a moment and said hello to Casey. She watched him carefully, her fingers in her mouth. The lady grabbed Casey's pancake mix she was making with Mama and took it to the kitchen. Casey looked between the kitchen and Mama, finally going with Mama when she walked to the kitchen. Mama rocked Casey in the kitchen chair, and Casey rested her head on Mama's chest. Mama rocked from side to side, Casey soothed by the motion even as Mama was shaking. The woman from church began making new pancakes. Casey wasn't sure if she still wanted pancakes if she couldn't make them with Mama. The day was not right. Something had gone very wrong, and Casey didn't understand it. But knowing Mama was upset made her frightened. Mama looked down at her for a minute. Her face was drawn and tired, and her eyes had a haunted look in them. The woman brought them pancakes and syrup. Mama kept rocking her side to side, with a wordless kind of humming very quietly. The man was talking about a home somewhere and wanted Mama to go visit. Mama put syrup on a pancake and offered it to Casey. Casey wanted to make pancakes with Mama, not eat someone else's pancakes. When she didn't eat the bite, Mama cut off. Mama ate it, but Mama must have only tasted a bite like she made Casey do with new vegetables. The pancakes stayed on the plate. The woman seemed nice. She pretended not to notice that Mama didn't like her pancakes, and she and the man left a little bit after that. Mama sat on the couch after they left. She looked like she was looking at the clock on the wall, but the way she stared, Casey wondered if maybe she was looking past the clock outside in the yard. Casey wandered into the kitchen and looked at the plates with their cold pancakes. She wondered if Mama would get mad if she threw them away, since they didn't like stranger pancakes. Casey looked around the corner of the kitchen into the living room where Mama still sat on the couch, staring far away at something Casey couldn't see. Mama? Mama blinked a couple of times, like she was coming back from a dream. Are you hungry, Casey? Casey thought for a moment. She didn't want pancakes anymore. Did she have to eat the pancakes if she was hungry? They sat on the plates, cold, damp, and spongy. She looked at them, wondering if she could have something else. Her fingers found their way into her mouth again while she considered lunch. She nodded slowly, hoping for SpaghettiOs. She liked the plain ones best. Mama got off the couch and walked into the kitchen. What do you want to eat? Casey, her fingers of her right hand still in her mouth, walked to the pantry cupboard, opened it, and pointed at a can of SpaghettiOs. Mama smiled at Casey, the smile not erasing the look in her eyes. We'll have them ready in just a minute, Mama said gently. Casey nodded and went to the table and picked up the plates of pancakes and carried them and put them on the counter. Thank you, Casey. You're a big helper. Mama's praise warmed her inside. The weird morning was letting go of the day a little, and Casey's world settled from the weird spin she had felt earlier. She climbed into her chair at the kitchen table and waited for Mom to bring her lunch. The warm SpaghettiOs and Mama not crying helped calm the thudding of her heart, and she could breathe again. She hoped that Mama's eyes would smile again soon.
Lovely, even though it's sad, it's still lovely.
So good. I like it.
Don't like those other people's pancakes.
I like the strangers' pancakes.
Stranger pancakes are not acceptable.
I know, not the right thing.
No.
Especially when you're 3 years old. They are not supposed to do that. No. But I'm at between both pieces, I'm at 7,000 words, so I definitely have enough to turn it into a novel probably. And do Mom's point of view as she deals with this and her point of view as she deals with this. But yes, darn those stranger pancakes. And I try to she doesn't look at it as I try to keep a 3-year-old's perspective when I did her part. And they don't think like adults. Ooh, amaretto French toast sounds yummy. I always put vanilla in my pancakes. I would have been the bad church lady, I guess. Oh, let's put some vanilla on your pancakes, honey. They're trying so hard, but I've been through so many deaths now, and they want you to bury the person within 3 to 5 days. And that's not enough time to get used to the fact that this is even happening.
Right.
And
she just heard. She only just heard.
Yeah. And so you feel this terrible being pushed and rushed into things, and you're still trying to get used to what's going on. She hasn't even gotten a chance to tell her daughter yet because she doesn't want to do it when there's a whole bunch of other people there. And I had a friend whose children were 3 and 5 when their dad died. And the 3-year-old, a few days after his dad died, asked if he could die too so he could go see his daddy. Because, one, they don't really understand the finality of death yet. And 2, they really miss the person that's gone. So they don't. Kids don't handle death the same way we do as we get older. So, well, thank you everybody for being nice about it. I I had her now I've switched back to Mother, and Mother is now thinking, "Now how do I get this kid to go down for a nap?"
Yeah.
And she got up early. She hasn't had as many meals as she normally should have. Knowing everything I have in my life experience with children now, that kid is not going to be easy to get to go to sleep today.
Mm.
And
Truth.
and Mom more than anything wants to have her go lay down so she can deal at least with the HR lady by herself.
Right.
So that's going to be an interesting conflict to.
Mm.
So, but these are the same people that walked to church in the previous thing. The walk to church is a few years
This
later.
is just the way before. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what started them on their journey to not having enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been researching. I'm placing this around the mid 80s, if you couldn't tell by the Pound Puppy and the Care Bears.
Yeah, I was trying to remember when that was. I couldn't think of it.
And so I went and Googled all of the Social Security rules and everything while I was, thinking forward on what's going to happen next.
You're a good researcher.
Well, Christine, I pulled it because I'm going to try to do this as a novel. So I can't be out on the internet because then people can get to it. The reading was this past reading was the first part of this story, and the reading before that was the first part. So it's on the recordings for Bedtime on the Porch. Sturg.
Game of Tartar. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
it makes them fluffier, supposedly. Cream of tartar. You also add cream of tartar to egg whites when you're making meringue.
Uh-huh.
So,
Well, I couldn't even make a basic stir fry tonight, so I just, yeah.
so, but anyhow, Sturg, do you really want to come on and read something? I'm sure that.
Do you have to let me go? I don't have it. Oh wait, I can X up here.
Well, I can too. If Sturg is serious about, well, I might. Oh, it did it. Oh, she did it anyhow. Darn it.
Poof.
He was too fast.
Yeah. It was like magic right there.
Just gone.
She's a witch. Does she weigh less than a duck?
A bit. We might have done the nose.
Right.
Nose.
It's a carrot. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, Robes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Can we take a few more steps and try this again? Can you hear me now?
Hi, Sturg.
Hi, Robes. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. So 4 years ago, almost to the day, well, it was like in September, I wrote a story about how Dolly Parton inspires me. I wanted to read that today.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Let me go and pull it up. I had it earlier. I actually read it on the podcast earlier, but I feel like it's pretty timely.
Yeah, it is.
All right, wait, let's see. Yeah, I was about to tell you guys that I was gonna not read tonight, but then I realized I probably should. Here we go. All right, self-reflection. Dolly Parton inspires me every day.
Mm.
I remember first hearing about the quote, not from Dolly Parton herself, although the quote is definitely very Dolly sounding, but from the emotional movie A Walk to Remember from the early 2000s with Shane West and Mandy Moore. It was one of Mandy Moore's character's favorite all-time quotes from Dolly Parton. Find out who you are and do it on purpose. Simple yet poignant advice. I spent a lot of my life hiding my true self from the world. I didn't want anyone to know who I really was, and in doing that, I damaged my ability to be able to figure out who I was myself. So I was hiding from myself as well. Once I came out as gay, I started to take stock of myself and find out who I was trying to be over the years and change that into who I wanted to be or who I actually was. Right after that, I met my partner, and he also helped me to challenge myself and figure out who I was as well, because he had figured me out better than I had at that point. Then I did something transformative. I started owning up to who I was. That was the first step and a hard step for me. I figured out who I was, and I wasn't going to apologize for it at this point. I knew what I liked and didn't like. I figured out how I perform under pressure. I even stopped hating myself. Loving myself more helped me because my partner already loved me. Why was it impossible for me to see what he saw? Once I purposely started to find myself in my way, my decisions became a lot easier to make since I understood what I wanted. This ultimately led me to the realization that I could live in a traveling vehicle designed to house me and my partner. If I thought I couldn't have handled it, then I would not have agreed to the direction my life was taking at that point. I don't like to preach to people. I'm not somebody who tells you what to do or whatever, but I suggest that anyone who has not gone on the self-discovery yet to do this, because you really find out who you are when you really dig deep. Your life feels amazing once you live your authentic self. You're not perfect, obviously, no one is, but sure as hell beats lying to yourself, others, and those you love and care about. Once you express yourself in a sincere way, you wouldn't want to go back anyway. I once stupidly thought that if people really knew who I was, they wouldn't like me. Worse than that, I thought I wouldn't like myself. Sometimes I still don't, but I mean, those are momentary lapses. Most of the time, I love myself. I found that being and expressing yourself is just fine for the people you want to attract in your life. For those you don't, I mean, obviously, if they hate you, they're going to hate you regardless. But they won't hate you for being you if they're still around, obviously, because you're bringing that energy. Only the people that aren't supposed to be around you. Oh, never mind. I already heard that. Sorry. And who needs those people anyway, right? Love yourself, find yourself, be yourself, and do it all on purpose. Thank you, Dolly Parton. I love you. That was
Nice.
it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do we have any thoughts? I'm shirtless, but I'm covering my chest.
It's I can remember the first time I ever saw Dolly Parton on television. It
Mm.
had to have been 1976 at the latest, but it might have been earlier. She had her own variety show for a very short period of time,
Mhm.
Mm.
and she sang a song, "Love's" the part of it went, "Love's like a butterfly, a soft and silky butterfly." Um, and she was on this beautiful swing, in a tree, and it was, like, decorated with
Mm.
flowers and everything, and she was, swinging on it and singing the song. And
Yeah.
I can remember it because my mother complained that the only reason my dad liked listening to Dolly Parton was because she had big boobs.
Ah.
So I'm like 7 years old, and my mother's complaining about Dolly Parton's big boobs to my dad, and I can still
Woman's got
remember
some
that.
lungs on her, I can tell you that.
And
Do you all remember the old school iconic joke that we heard back in school? I don't know if you two heard it. I mean, it definitely made it to my generation, but it felt like it was older because it already felt a little backwards when I heard it. But it was, what do you call the sweat between Dolly Parton's tits?
what?
Mountain Dew.
Oh.
Alrighty then. Love
Yeah,
is
no,
like
that
a
was
butterfly, as soft and gentle as a sigh. The multicolored moods of love are like its satin wings. Love
Mm.
makes your heart feel strange inside. It flutters like soft wings in flight. Love is like a butterfly, a rare and gentle thing. I feel it when you're with me. It happens when you kiss me. That rare and gentle feeling that I feel inside. Your touch is soft and gentle. Your kiss is warm and tender. And then I guess I should go farther because that probably isn't all of it. Whenever I am with you, I think of butterflies. Love is like a butterfly. The multicolored moods of love are like its satin wings. That's, I guess, the chorus. Your laughter brings me sunshine. Every day is springtime, and I am only happy when you are by my side. How precious is this love we share? How very precious, sweet, and rare. Together we belong like daffodils and butterflies. I wonder when she wrote that. When was the Dolly Parton show?
Not sure. Let's see. 1987 to 88.
No.
Oh, you're thinking, okay, wait, there were two separate ones. Her original one was 76 to 77. Then she had one from 87 to 88.
That would have been the 76 to 77 one.
Yeah, it's a variety show. I think the other one was a television series.
Because see, my mom died in 77, so I couldn't have been in the 80s. Yeah, Sturge looks like, the top part of him is naked. Oh, Sturge looks like you're stuck here for the next half hour if you want to be. It might have been.
Naked, not half naked. Not half naked.
Let's see, Dolly's variety show was by the same company that produced the Porter Wagoner show. And she had co-starred on that for 7 years.
That was the starting in the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I gotta read you this.
Okay.
She had a famous wardrobe mishap before the 1978 Country Music Association Awards, where she was about to accept the Entertainment of the Year award. Just minutes before Johnny Cash and Ronnie Millsap announced her as winner, Parton realized her tight, gleaming gown was coming apart. She recalled thinking, "This is such a beautiful dress, but the fabric is so delicate." I thought, man, as tight as I wear my clothes, and I was a little hefty then, I thought, I hope this all holds together. When she finally felt something creeping up her stomach and realized the dress was ripping, she panicked and quickly improvised. She borrowed a large fur stole from Marion Rogers, Kenny Rogers' wife at the time, and who sat nearby. She held up the fur as she walked to the podium, covering the tear. By the time she reached the stage, she had turned the moment into a joke, telling 5,000 live audience, I had this dress made in case I won, and about 5 minutes ago I was hoping I wouldn't win because I busted the front out of it. My daddy says that's what I get for putting 50 pounds of mud in a 5-pound bag.
She was so humble.
She really was.
That I think was probably one of the most winning things about her was she was just so humble. She never got it into her head that she was something special. That it was interesting because I know that there's a story about her and I Will Always Love You. When Whitney Houston covered it for the movie,
The Bodyguard.
He said that's how it was supposed to sound.
She literally said she heard it like when she was driving and literally pulled over. Like she was so stunned. Like, yeah. Like that's crazy. It's stunned. Like Whitney did a good job.
Yes, she did. She did. It's really sad that Whitney had all the problems she did and that she died so young. That's always really sad.
Crack is
whack. She was real proud of her. She was like, "Damn!" She took my little song and like went crazy.
At the Syracuse Fair?
That's actually the last time I cried this much over a singer's death, like a celebrity, was when Whitney Houston died. And today I cried a little bit after Dolly died for about maybe 15, 20 minutes.
It was really tragic that Whitney died. And then her daughter died too.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, crack is whack.
There's a county fair in Pennsylvania. I don't know if it still is, but back when I was a little girl, it probably got as much or more attention than our state fair did. I don't know if it's because of the center of the state or what, but the Clearfield County Fair, I saw the Statler brothers perform there. And that's when they were,
Statler
gold
brothers?
record people, and they were playing. They were at a county fair. And it was what was really amazing to me, and I've been to a few concerts since, is the only time I've ever been to a concert where after it was over, the band sat down at the front of the stage and let people come up and talk to them and signed autographs and everything else, or your boobs or whatever you wanted them to say. Yes, James. But anyhow, so yeah, the Clearfield County Fair, they actually had like headlining big people, and I guess I could see what Clearfield County Fair is doing now, and that'll tell me if they're still a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Clearfield County Fair 2026. Oh, opens tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Well,
Okay. 166. Let's see what they did this year. It isn't telling me. Oh, that's next year's. What happened this year? I'm trying to see what they had. See what we had here. Let's see. Fluoride Mania, Everclear, Sister Hazel. I'm not seeing anybody, but I don't know a lot of people anymore anyhow. Harness Racing. Gavin Adcock, is he big? It might be. It's not as big a thing as it used to be now.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think Rub should sing live.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I might one of these times. We'll see.
Billy Davis.
I'm not as brave as all you guys are.
Christine wants me to sing today, so I might if there's time carved out for that.
Oh, there is. We've got 25 minutes left.
You can tell me what you'd like to hear me sing for them if that's something I could do.
Oh, whatever you feel most comfortable singing. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it a cappella, obviously, because we don't have karaoke. This isn't really karaoke. This is chilling on the porch.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a song when I'm gonna pull it up.
Well, Julie often gets me talked into singing to her.
I'm just a bachelor. I'm looking for a partner. Someone who knows how to ride without even falling off. No, I'm kidding. I'm not saying that. If you're horny, just do it. Jump on this pony. You didn't hear that coming?
Don't know that one.
Oh, it's genuine. It was from the 90s.
Oh.
I did sing "I Will Always Love You" before, but that's one that's out of my range. I do try to lower it sometimes, but it's not. Yeah. No, Julie, you
Especially
sing
if you try to sing it Whitney Houston style. Like, I think it's out of most people's range.
I mean, I sang it like what was that, a couple weeks ago, Lisa, or like 3 weeks ago? Last time we did karaoke.
You sang Righteous Brothers.
It was like
No, but
Melody.
I also sang Whitney Houston that night.
Okay.
You were there.
I guess I the Righteous Brothers is the one that stuck with me.
Mm-hmm. Well, because I was trying to sing it in the original key and it got out of control. I mean, I just want to hear Ropes talk for a little bit, honestly.
Robes, read us something.
Oh my goodness, what shall I read? I got a ton of stuff. Like, I could read something I haven't read for a while, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. Give me a second.
Someone's requesting Peaches. And I was thinking about Peaches earlier today for some reason. Had something to do with one of the cats too. So while we were doing, while he finds something to sing or read, while we were doing the previous show, they lost our granddaughter for an hour.
Oh,
The bus was really late getting her home, and they were so freaked out they left the door unlocked. And it gets warmer and warmer in here, and Lombok walks past, and I'm like, "Excuse me, I've got to go close my door." And had to go close the door and lock it so Lombok couldn't leave it open
Oh,
again.
I know something I haven't read in a long time.
ooh. I
Like
just heard
what?
Herb say something he hasn't read.
In the
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
The breath control to sing that song right is amazing. Goodness.
Yeah.
You ever do things to try to figure out your
My vocal range?
or working on your breath control? Like sometimes what I'll do to type practice is I'll sing Mary Had a Little Lamb without any breath. The whole way
Oh,
through.
yeah.
Try to
Yeah,
practice
okay.
breath control.
My issue when I was younger, when I went on American Idol, and Simon told me I needed
You went
to
on
work.
American Idol.
I've been on American Idol. Simon told me I needed to work on my breath work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Breathworks
'Cause-
takes practice.
well, the main thing about it was, I was a little more asthmatic than I am now. I don't know how that cleared up as I got older, but when I tried out at 20, how old was I? 23. He basically said, "You're not ready yet, kid. Your breath control's not there." But he also commented on my looks, which was kind of a freaking that was kind of lame. I
yeah.
mean, especially since I was 20 years younger back then. And I mean, I wasn't ugly. I don't think so, at least. There's even pictures of me after I auditioned the last time. Well, no, the last time I did audition, I was skinny. So
All right, I have it.
Okay, cool.
yeah. Oh, thanks, Christine.
This is called The She's by the Door. Her father's funeral had been somber. A cold drizzle, quiet condolences, and platitudes, silent tears. The drive to the cabin was long, even longer today. Lonely. Even the radio static reminded her of his voice, filling the silence like truth that had to be told. The cabin waited for her, smaller than she remembered, older, nestled in the pines like a breath waiting to exhale. Same patched roof, same broken railing, same crooked chimney, no smoke. She got out of her car, pocketed her keys, and approached the door. His boots were there, worn, waiting. The door opened with a crack, too loud. A groan of protest, as if the house itself wasn't ready for what was coming. The scent of musk and cedar was not a welcome. It was a reminder. Never leave without saying goodbye. Her father's words haunted her. It was the advice she often heard but never listened to. She had never meant to ignore him. She had just been tired. Tired of the arguing. Tired of trying. She stepped inside. It was still. Dust blazed in the air, waiting for her to speak. She didn't. She took a deep breath and surveyed the silence. It was the same as it had always been. Lampshade leaning, coffee cup stains on the unpolished end table. The tear in the left arm to the old, overstuffed couch, where she had cried herself to sleep after her mom had died. The silly carpet shaped like what her father had sworn was a bear's head, that she thought looked like a cartoon dog. She almost smiled. Almost. The bedroom had not changed either. Clothes on the floor, on the back of the chair that leaned too far back. Cups on the bedstand and the bed, unmade as usual. She had given up telling him to make it years ago. I'm just going to get back into it and mess it up again tonight, he had always answered, with that innocent knowing look she couldn't resist. Futile. She packed what she could, straightened up a bit, made the bed, then ruffled it up again. The sobs came. Deep, mournful. Then, a creak. In the living room. She sat up straight, eyes wide, hope rising in her for a moment. Just a moment. It's not him, she whispered, pushing down the urge to rush to the living room. She rose slowly, stepped back into the living room. It waited, empty, silent. But the shoes by the door, had they been there before? His. The ones he always wore when they went for their walks. Shoelaces dancing softly in the breeze, choreographed as if it carried a vision needing to be seen. Evening came, gently. Amber light easing its way through the dust-covered windows, painting the cabin in a warm light, like forgiveness trying to find her, remind her. She was going through the bathroom when she heard the creaking again. Familiar, certain. His shoes on the floor, the way they always sounded when he was about to leave. You ready, squirrel? Her father's voice. No, the wind. The old cabin settling or unsettling. She stepped into the hall, fists clenched, her heart in her throat. Nothing. But the shoes. She laughed softly, uneasily. See, I am hearing you, Dad. The words came softly, almost painfully. Remembered, inevitable. The laces fluttered again in the breeze as if they laughed with her. The tea was where it had always been, right near the old bread box that now simply read Briox. Meant his favorite. She put the kettle on, waited for the familiar whistle, steeped it just 3 minutes. See, Dad, I did listen, she said into the cup, taking a sip. She began. She peered into the cup as if it knew the rest of her sentence. It had no answer. You're so stubborn. You know that? She said, the tightness in her voice refusing to echo off the walls. So was I, she added softly. The tears came again. And with them the creaking, closer this time, near. The kettle clicked off. Her breath caught. She didn't turn around. She sighed, wiping tears from her eyes. I didn't mean to leave without saying goodbye. The air shifted, warmed as if the house had stopped holding its breath. The floor settled. She turned to the living room. The shoes were there, turned toward the exit ever so slightly. She didn't remember falling asleep on the couch. Morning light filtered its way through the dimness, giving the room an expectant glow. She glanced at the shoes, now perfectly side by side, the way he always left them. She smiled, collected her things, gave the cabin one last look, then, kneeling by the door, she tied the shoelaces closely together. There. You won't leave without me this time. She stepped out into the soft morning glow. Stopping, she turned, smiling. Goodbye, Dad. With that, she turned. The floor creaked again, knowing, answering, and for the first time in days, the sunlight felt warm again.
Oh, it's a pretty one.
Yeah. That was lovely. Like Julie said.
Thank you. Hmm.
I almost feel like I should bring something like what you two, the kind of stuff you two write, like fiction. I want to bring that on here sometime
Okay.
and read that.
You're welcome to.
Well, no, I know I have
Maybe
1,700
so.
published stories, published online, and I can't find the one I was looking for that I think would fit perfectly. It's it's kind of like a time travel, like uh, escape fantasy, like science fiction thing. It's interesting.
Thanks, Amy. Yeah, write for the prompt sometime.
Yeah. Well, I wrote
And
one
if
for
you
the prompt. That was a
don't,
while back.
there's like 40 prompts now. So if the one that's for the, this week isn't good enough, there's other ones, There's
Are we allowed to modify slightly what we see on the prompt?
Well, I did on the last one.
Yeah. You don't even necessarily have to use the
They
prompt
just have
in
to
it.
inspire you.
Just let the prompt inspire the story, kind of. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, on the one that I wrote, not this week, but the week before, I didn't like. I felt like it pushed too hard into only one direction. Hang on, let me get to them so I can. She used to think the worst thing that could happen was no, it was that. It's even so, what they don't know won't. And I didn't like the won't because it just seems to take you directly into what they don't know won't hurt them. So I stopped at what they don't know because that can get you a lot
Right.
more
That's more open ended.
right. So I got rid of the won't,
That's smart.
and that helped me write something better. That's the one that was the story where the girl and the mother walked to church.
Yeah.
Um,
The part of the story you just read, right? The one
well,
earlier.
it's the one that goes after
Yeah,
that
yeah.
in time. Yeah.
But part of that series.
Yes. And it was interesting because I've been thinking about how parents don't communicate well with their kids. They usually aren't honest about everything. And then kids end up having completely different standings about parts of life. And I've been kind of wanting to maybe work on a novel that explores that. Because I was telling Jake, my son of another mother yesterday, I was like, Jake, I like my dad and miss him more 20 plus years later than I did when he died. When he died, I didn't even know that he liked me.
Wow.
I thought I was like the biggest failure he'd ever had.
Mhm.
And it's too bad that he and I never got an honest conversation together
Right.
during his life. So that's kind of part of what the story's supposed to be looking at is that come here, Lombok. Kitty kitty.
So
Come here, baby.
so in the story then of grieving, it's almost as if you're Casey.
Almost.
Mhm.
I mean, my dad my mom died when I was 8. My dad died when I was 34.
Mm.
The
So
year
it's just the reverse, yeah.
But and Casey is much younger than I was when my mom died even. But
Mhm.
there's Casey's mom is, in fact, people are really excited about the fact that it's going to show how badly the social safety net restricts you. If you can't make enough to not need the social safety net, you end up in this terrible, quagmire where you never have enough and you can't afford to have more. Because, like it pointed out when I was researching it, it said that in the 1980s, you couldn't qualify for Medicaid unless you were on AFDC, and to get AFDC, which is the original welfare, you had to make $300 or less a year. So
Well,
they can't afford to have health insurance at all.
wait, did you say a year or a month?
A year. Yeah.
That's
It,
that's ultra poverty.
mhm, yeah. And then it was, of course, such dire poverty that they kept you in it, that it was really bad. Um, So it'll be interesting to explore, because our social safety net has changed since the 80s, but in some ways it isn't any better, you know.
It's probably a little worse.
And it's, well, they want it to get a lot worse. So
Mhm.
if I can get it written and make anyone interested in it and so forth, maybe it'll make a lot of people think. I can
I
hope.
would advocate to continue well, I mean, I advocate for increasing the safety net.
Me too.
Yeah, because I mean, where we're at now as a society, I think it's awful, the lack of support that people of color, women, people
hmm
with disabilities, I
Mm.
mean, you can name it. Even elderly people are starting to get screwed over, and I mean,
Well, they're saying if they don't do something with Social Security, they're going to cut everybody's benefits by 25% in like 7 or 8 years now.
Mm.
And for someone like me, that will be almost $500 a month that disappears. Well, for me, it'll be more like $378 a month, I guess,
wait,
current.
are they touching Social Security disability, or are they touching
Everything across the
senior
board.
Social Security? Oh.
Everything across the board. So, yeah, they're and the thing is that the big problem is that we aren't being able to tax billionaires. They've co-opted, I mean, when you can spend millions of dollars to get, somebody elected, you then own them. And,
Mm.
for Musk, he could, like, underwrite every campaign across the United States and, then to have them all make sure that laws say he doesn't pay taxes. And meanwhile, he also gets billions in subsidies to make things, and he and what's his name have taken over the space program. Since they don't pay taxes, we don't have a space program anymore. They now own the space program and sell it back to us. They're going to profiteer off of the space program because they haven't been paying taxes, so we couldn't afford to keep it going. And it's just mind-boggling to me that this is where we're at as a country. Um, so that's
Yeah, Teal's actually the one who funded Vance,
yes. And what's really
wrote
scary
him to
is
fund this.
Teal and Vance and a conglomerate of them have this organization where they're buying up distressed farms. And by importing Argentinian beef, they are further distressing farms that will go bankrupt that they can then buy.
They're shorting the farms.
Yeah, they're shorting the farms. They are actually putting farmers out of business on purpose. And
Oh
people
yeah.
aren't even noticing. It's disgusting and frustrating, and we aren't supposed to talk about politics on the porch, but
No,
since
we're
I'm
not.
on here because of my
We'll
topic.
we'll
Um,
refrain and do the bridge.
Eat the rich.
Rob, sing us out.
Nah.
No? See how he is? Um,
We have a couple more minutes here. It'll be 11 o'clock soon. Well, 10 o'clock where you are.
yeah.
Yeah, I
11
think
o'clock
Rob and I are
around.
both. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We're both at 11 o'clock.
Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright.
Mm.
I only have eyes for you, dear. I don't know if we're in a garden or on a crowded avenue. You are here, so am I. And though millions of people pass by, well, they all disappear from view. For I only have eyes. Whoops, losing breath. For you.
You. That was beautiful, Lisa.
Nice.
You have such a pretty voice.
Mhm.
Thank you. I always liked the melody movement in that.
Mm.
I was doing minor little things underneath with some of the harmony.
Yeah, harmony's fun. And growing up listening to country music all the time, Harmony and I are
Mm.
old friends. Because
We
I was
love
always hearing 3 and 4 parts singing at the same time, you know?
Mhm.
You had the Oak Ridge Boys and
Maybe next time I come on, we could do Dolly and Kenny Rogers.
maybe
Mhm.
maybe I'll have to, like, pick it up because I haven't it's been a long time since I've heard it. So
Mhm.
and,
We heard
he
it
was
today.
threatening to make
Mike
me
was
sing
playing it.
Jolene. It's like, I only know Jolene, 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 Jolene. Yeah, I don't really know that song very well, so I'd have to, like, listen to it a few
Well,
times.
I'm sure you know one Dolly song.
Probably, but I just
Coat 'em Many
I
Colors.
I'd have to refamiliarize myself with any of them because I really haven't sung
Mm.
a lot of country music, not since I was a kid, you
Mm.
know? I spent the past until from 2003 to 2019, I was a song leader in a church, and I had to stay focused on all the Christian music because it kept
Mhm.
changing and they always wanted new stuff. So
Yeah.
I didn't have time to follow everyone else's music, so I kinda got far away from music for those 17 years, so I'm kinda
Mm.
lost because 'cause it's been a long time since I did other music, so,
You're catching up, all right.
I will try.
Mhm. It was
But
a
no,
pleasure
I'm not
being on
catching
here
up
with you
very
guys
well yet.
tonight. Yeah, it was a real pleasure being on here with you tonight. I feel
Thank you
honored
for coming.
every
Thanks
time I
for
get a
being
chance.
here.
Yeah.
So, but, good night, everybody. We'll be back
Good
tomorrow night.
night.
Night,
Love
everybody.
you all.
And the end doesn't hit this time.